Oh, what? Babylon and Timbuktu. These are the basics, man. This is real black history, okay? Rudolph Windsor, that wrote this book, went to Europe and found this out. Show you the white man preserving our history. Just like the apocrypha is printed in what? In Cambridge University. But let me get this right here. It says, page 84. It says, in the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem. In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves. That was a prophecy in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Okay, are we the children of those Jews? Absolutely. Absolutely. This is how we got into West Africa, because our people flew into the north and the eastern coast. When you read verse 80, page 88, he said, at that same time, the Jews migrated westward across Sudan from Ethiopia. So we went from Sudan to Ethiopia. They also migrated southward from Libya, Tunisia, and Algeria, and to Morocco. So our people was in the east and northern part of Africa. To the fertile region between Senegal and Niger rivers, which is in the west. When the Jews from the north and the east met these two rivers, they established a confluence or crossroads in West Africa. So it tells you the Jews that was in the north and the Jews that was in the east, they all met up where? On the west coast. That's how we got there, man. So them Hamites and Africans, they ain't our people. Okay? 1,500 years later, the nasty doodle-eating Africans got together with them Arabs and with the white man and sold us into captivity. And that's how we are in what? America today. But guess what? It was already prophesied during the time of Moses. See, this whole thing is prophecy. That's how we know the Bible is real, and that's how we know the Most High is real. Through prophecy. Because everything that's written in the Bible came to pass. And all the prophecies that didn't come to pass will come to pass. The Bible talks about the chip, that's coming to pass. The Bible talks about martial law, that's coming to pass. The Bible talks about America being destroyed in World War III by nuclear missiles, that's going to come to pass. The Bible talks about the second coming of Yahawashi, a black man with the UFOs, which there's UFO sightings all the time, but they suppress it in the media. That's going to happen. But the reason why a lot of these conscious niggas and a lot of these niggas, these Afrocentric dudes, the reason why they can't come into this, number one, they don't have faith. Two, they don't have discipline, because this Bible deals with laws. You can't be smoking no ganja or talk about the black woman as God. And be in this knowledge, man. It don't go that way. A lot of dudes, they want to they don't want to forsake that wicked lifestyle. They just want to be a nigga with knowledge. Right? And you have another book. This is black history. Another book called what? Nature Knows No Color Line by J.A. Rogers.
You look at that book?
This is real black history. Who is this right here? This is Queen Elizabeth. Forget her, okay? People don't even know that a black woman ruled England. Okay? King James was a black man, man. You silly niggas out there. You got King James in his book what he did. Which they can't deny the influence of the Moors. See? This is who. Let me show you right here. This is Queen Charlotte, Slovakia. Queen Charlotte, Sophia, consort of George III, and a grandmother of Queen Victoria, that demon in London right now. Okay? Because why? They stole that crown, man. Okay?
Greatest thief ever, man.
So this is who? Queen Charlotte. Slovakia. This is Queen Queen Charlotte, a black woman, a light-skinned black woman, man. All right? Now, that queen in England today, they stole the damn throne, man. That's not, it may have you believe that they were always ruling England. They stole the crown, man. Okay, I forgot her bloodline when she goes back to Germany. Just like the Rothschilds go back to Germany. All those demons, man. Anyway, certain pages marked down. Let me see. Page. A lot of this book has a lot of coat of arms. See? These are the Moors. Okay? Negro as Moor. You all dudes talking about more. Moor was just what? A generic term, which means Negro. That's it.
Bueno, right?
We're talking about means inhabitant of the land and all that. Listen, man, that's not a nationality. Okay? See, look. These are the Moors. These are our people. See? Millet Artsep, Prince of Tafilia, Emperor of Morocco. Negroes. These are the Moors playing what? Chess, man. Moors. Okay? They said, they said, I'm underlined, they said the Negroes came first to the Indies from Spain, not from Africa. The first slaves came from where? Spain and Portugal. Because that's where our people was ruling. That was a stronghold before the white man took us down, man. Okay? Let me show you some more coat of arms. Now the white man's such a demon. If a lot of our people start tapping into these books, guess what? The price of it gonna go up. And guess what? They'll mysteriously disappear. But the white man know that's not gonna happen because he, like he said, if you wanna hide anything from a nigga, put it in a book. See,
that's true. That's true. Niggas don't like to read.
You know, you not like to read. There's another coat of arms. Negroes, coat of arms of noble families. See? British families top left. The Moors of Yorkshire. St. Thomas More, Chancellor of Henry VIII. So it's him right here. Okay? These are all coat of arms. Royal families, man. These are our people in Europe. We just showed you Queen Charlotte.
Yeah, like the Elder Gabar said, that Negroes don't like to read, man. They don't like to read at all.
They don't like to read.
Niggas worried about fucking music and all that bullshit, man.
Like
basketball and all that bullshit. Niggas don't like to read, man.
Our people hate reading, man. Hate it. They hate it.
I mean, what's like, an hour to read, man?
Look at our people. These are the Moors. This one we had the damn white woman as a concubine. Woo. See, look at that. That's a future of what? That's the kingdom of heaven right there.
See that Bakwash? See that Bakwash?
These are our people that was doing that. This is in Turkey. All right? We were always up there in Turkey. The majority of the 7 churches came, a lot of them was in Turkey, man. That's where the Apostle Paul also came from. Okay, and the Moors ruled that area as well. You read something. It says, it's page 38. Negroes have been coming into Europe for nearly 3,000 years. Not to mention their being there in prehistoric times. Now so our people will be coming into Europe, you hear that, for over 3,000 years, man. Because the Celts, the Anglo-Saxons, all right? The Byzantine Empire, the Moors, they were all what? Israelites. Let me go where he also says, because that's a prophecy and I'm going to read it in a minute. And the first crop of slaves didn't come from Africa. Came from Spain and Portugal. That's real black history. See, they don't even teach about. They barely touch on the Moors. There's another guy. He's Kenneth, sometimes dubbed as Niger. We know as a historical fact that Niger el-Dub has lived and reigned over certain black divisions of islands, or probably white divisions also, that a race known as the Sons of Black succeeded him in history. World's traditions, he says, tells us also of these black people, and the legends of the history of the Scottish Highlands are both witnessed the existence of purely black people there. That's what the elders also tell you. A lot of the Irish and a lot of the Scots are what? Negroes. Because why? Kenneth the Dove, who was a Moor, conquered that region. We were all up there in Europe. Everybody knows about the Moors tackling the southern part of Italy, but we read it also. We were also in Spain, Portugal, Turkey.
That's why a lot of these so-called teachers, can't get the Gentile things. You know what I'm saying?
Because they're a bunch of simple asses, and the Lord blinded you. They also said about Septimius Severus, because that's when the Roman Empire started going down. It started with a black general by the name of Septimius Severus, 193 AD. We're going to read about him. Septimius Severus, one of the leading conquerors of Britain, was an African. This is where he go off, okay? He was an African. He was an Israelite. I wish I had a I wish I had the thing about Septimius Severus. Oh man, I wish. Oh man. Look at this dude and his white woman. So the Negro man and the white woman always were banging each other out. See, this is where George Washington and all of them get their hairstyle from. It was the royalty up there in London. Woo! See, they copied us, man. So the white men will have you believe. See, that's when you got to learn history. That's when you got to get books and you got to read. Okay? The Spartans, they about to come out this movie 300. The Lacedaemonians were what? Negroes. A lot of them were from the tribe of Dan, because Dan went up there in Europe where Japhet was. When you get the Marvel comic, it shows you how a lot of them look like. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you real quick after I read this. Okay? This is real black history, man. Not no goddamn Africa swinging on some tree and eating a monkey for breakfast. That's not our people, man. That's not our people, man.
Eat a monkey for breakfast.
Yeah. Those are not our people, man. Oh, he goes into the Sicilians. Let me read this. He said, as a result of the importation of Negroes, many Southern Italians and Greeks in the 18th century were so dark that many Napoleon ran short of Negroes for his black brigade. He used them. Sicilians were then much darker than now. Of course they were. Because more sleeping with more of these heathen women than white women. Eventually, over time, they started getting lighter and lighter. Just like the tribe of Ephraim, which are the Puerto Ricans. Over time, they got lighter and lighter. Okay. He also says, this is another guy called Waltz. He said, Waltz says an interesting graduation of all shades down to the black is exhibited by the Jews. Now here's what this guy said. He said, especially dark were the Jews of Spain and Portugal. The Portugal Jews were very dark, says Prickard. The Duchess of Abrantes, wife of Napoleon's ambassador to Portugal, said that the Jew, the Negro, and the Portuguese could be seen in a single person. So dark were the Jews, especially of Portugal and southern Spain, that many whites thought that all Jews were black or dark. Because they are. What do you mean they thought? We just read the scripture earlier. Judah mourneth and against their language, they are black unto the ground. Okay? Now like we were talking about the Spartans. We're talking about the Spartans. See, that's history right there.